I should have known something was off the moment I stepped into that banquet hall. The air smelled too sweet, like a fake celebration. My wife stood in the center, her family flanking her like a jury that had already reached a verdict. And then I saw it, a massive banner hanging across the wall in bold gold letters, "Farewell Party." Not, "Happy Birthday," not even, "Congratulations," just a cold, final goodbye. I barely had time to process it before my eyes landed on the table. There, sitting neatly beside my packed luggage, was an envelope. I recognized my name written on it in my wife's handwriting. My hands trembled as I picked it up, the weight of the paper felt heavier than it should. I opened it, and my stomach clenched, divorce papers, already signed by her. I looked up, my jaw tightening, but she didn't even flinch. "Your job is done," she said, her voice detached, emotionless. "Leave now." Silence, the kind that swallows you whole, the kind that precedes something terrible. I felt every guest's eyes on me, waiting for my reaction, waiting for me to break. But I didn't. Instead, I smiled, slow and deliberate. Then, in the calmest voice, I leaned in and whispered, "Then let's start the real farewell party." And that was the moment their nightmare began. You see, this wasn't some sudden, out-of-nowhere betrayal. No, this was years in the making. My wife, ex-wife now, I suppose, came from a wealthy, arrogant family, the kind that measured a man's worth in dollars, not devotion. And me? I came from nothing. I built myself up from the ground with my bare hands. But to them, I was never enough. I still remember the first time her father looked me in the eyes and said, "Men like you are useful, until they're not." Her mother never bothered hiding her disdain, always reminding me that she had handpicked a better suitor before her daughter settled for me. And my wife? She played her role perfectly, the loving partner in public, the ice queen behind closed doors. I was nothing more than a stepping stone for her, the hard-working husband who provided, protected, and played his part, until she decided she didn't need me anymore. But they made a mistake. They thought I was blind, that I didn't see the signs, the secret meetings, the hushed phone calls, the new bank account she thought I wouldn't notice. I knew. I always knew. And that's why, as I stood there in that banquet hall, staring at the people who thought they had just destroyed me, I was the one holding back laughter. Because I had spent the past 6 months preparing for this very moment. I turned to face the crowd, my voice calm, controlled. "A farewell party, huh?" I said, tapping the divorce papers against my palm. "You went through all this trouble just to get rid of me? You shouldn't have." My wife's father smirked. "You can leave with some dignity, at least." I chuckled. "Oh, I'm leaving. But first, I have a few gifts to hand out." I reached into my pocket and pulled out a USB drive, holding it up between my fingers. Her father's face paled, because he knew exactly what it was. You see, while they were planning my farewell, I was gathering evidence: fraud, embezzlement, tax evasion, the kind of crimes that put rich men behind bars and strip them of everything they hold dear. And my wife, let's just say she wasn't as good at covering her tracks as she thought. Her secret lover. He wasn't just some harmless fling. He was a man with a history of fraud himself, a man whose entire financial record I had already forwarded to the authorities. I turned to my wife and smiled. "By the way, sweetheart, you might want to check your bank account." She frowned. "Why?" "Oh, wait," I added casually, "you can't. It's frozen." Her face drained of color. What did you do?" I leaned in. "Did you really think I wouldn't notice the offshore accounts? The hidden assets? You were sloppy, love. And now, you're broke." She staggered back, gripping the edge of the table. Her mother gasped. Her father's hands balled into fists. But I wasn't done. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to a pre-typed message, and hit send. Moments later, security guards walked in, not the hall's security. My security. Escort Mr. Holloway to the authorities, please, I said, nodding toward my father-in-law. The room erupted in chaos. My wife screamed. Her mother tried to intervene, but it was too late, the police were already on their way. As I picked up my luggage, the very same bags they had packed for me, I turned to my wife one last time. You wanted a farewell party, I murmured. So here it is. And then I walked out, past the shocked faces, past the crumbling dynasty they had built on lies and arrogance. I stepped outside into the night air, inhaling deeply. For the first time in years, I felt weightless, free. The text started pouring in. Calls. Desperate messages. My wife begging me to come back, to fix this, to undo what I had done. I didn't respond. I simply smiled. Because this time, I was the one walking away. And trust me, nothing had ever felt better.